One of the most frustrating things that I experience is going to a restaurant, or going anywhere, but let's just say restaurant, and not being asked my contact details, okay? It's frustrating for me because being in the marketing game, I know just how valuable data is, okay? Just ask Amazon, for example, or ask Skype, okay? Look, not just restaurants, by the way, it goes right across the board. Here in Australia, we have some of the biggest sporting codes just not collecting data. The Ticketek booking service may collect data, but a lot of the times the sporting codes don't have any relationship with the ticketing company, and so therefore, you know, you've got 20 or 30 or 50,000 people coming to the sport and they don't know who they are. So it'd be like holding a dinner party at home and not knowing who your guests were. You wouldn't want that, would you? Okay. Restaurants, classic, okay? I had an instance where there was a restaurant here in Australia, in a major capital city, and my wife and myself used to frequent this restaurant probably once a fortnight, and we would spend, let's say $120 to $150 each time we were there. Now multiply that by 26 fortnights, okay, and we were probably worth $3,500 to $4,000 a year to that restaurant. Do you think they ever asked for our contact details? No. And on one occasion, because the manager knew what I did for a living, he came up to me at our table one night after he had had a big famous restaurant open across the road from him and take a lot of his business, and he said to me, JD, he knew me as JD, he didn't know me as John Dwyer, and he said, look, can I just interrupt your dinner for a second? I just want to ask you a favour. Could you give me some of that wow factor stuff? And I said to him, what? He said, look, we've just had a big restaurant open next door to us. It's a big name restaurant out of Sydney that had gone, you know, to Brisbane. This was in Brisbane, by the way. And he said, you know, it's taken a lot of our trade. And I said to him, oh, look, sure, I've got some of that wow factor stuff here somewhere, as if I carried it on me. And I said, look, I'll give you a hand, but just on one condition. He said, oh, look, anything. And I said, what's my name? And he said, JD. I said, no, what's my real name? And he had no clue that I was John Dwyer. And I said, look, I'll give you another chance. Where do I live? And he said, oh, on the Gold Coast. And I said, no, what's my address on the Gold Coast? And for those of you who are overseas, the Gold Coast is about an hour south of Brisbane, where this restaurant was. I said, what's my address on the Gold Coast? Couldn't answer me. And then the penny dropped. He said, okay, you've got me. I said, mate, I've been telling you for some time now, which I had, that you should be collecting data. Now, had he been collecting data, guess what he could have done? He could have captured a whole host of the customers that had gone across the road to the other restaurant. How? He would have sent out an email or perhaps a text message, or multiple emails or multiple text messages. But the essence of the message would be, look, Chef Pierre has just created this unbelievable dessert. And this dessert was the winner on the German MasterChef TV show only a fortnight ago. This dessert just cleaned the plate. Excuse the pun, cleaned the floor, I should say. That's no pun, is it? It is the winning dessert on the German MasterChef TV program, and what we would like to do is to invite you and your wife, or you and your husband, to come to our restaurant anytime in the next week, and that dessert for both of you is on us, okay? Do you think that if you were one of the customers that had gone across to the other restaurant, and you got that sort of email, do you think you might be tempted to go back to the restaurant that you had left? I think you might, okay? You're going to be served the winning dessert from the German MasterChef TV program absolutely free of charge. Now, of course, you know, if it was an email, you would tell what the dessert was all about, and you'd probably put an attachment of the photo, and you might even put a little clip on the way that it was won in the German, you know, MasterChef TV program. You would give it a lot of theatre. But the fact is, you can only do that had you been collecting the contact details up until then. So that's just how valuable collecting data is, not just for restaurants, but for every business. So do yourself a favour, make sure you collect data, okay? And not just offline, but of course online, and the best way to collect data online is to give away something for free. And if you've got a website, and hopefully you do, then on that website you should be offering a free report or a free video download or a free audio download or free advice of some sort that people have to provide their contact details in order to get access to. The whole idea is to collect data so that you can use that data moving forward. Look, the money is in the list. You talk to any information marketer and they will tell you the money is in the list. Now, it doesn't matter what business you're in, if you've got a list, then you've got a much better chance of making money. So from this point on, do yourself a favour, start collecting data.